What's up, y'all? It's your boy Aggression, Mr. VA on 757, and today I would like to bring y'all some new content that I'm bringing to my channel on YouTube, and this is called Drift With Me Through the Dark Side. What I will be doing is I will be giving y'all 8 very scary, very real, spine-chilling stories. Now, here's the thing. I will be breaking it up into 8 different episodes because I don't want to overload y'all. And I'm trying to have this something that can be ready for the end of spooky season. You know what I'm saying? So consider this just your guide through the end of spooky season. So I hope that you enjoy this. Sit back, relax, grab your snacks. Whether you sipping from a cup or you breaking down a sack. Thank you for drifting with your boy. Anyway, let's get into it. The first story is called the Axe Murder House. Sounds like Shining, right? Anyway, the Villisca Axe Murder House in Villisca, Iowa is a well-known tourist attraction for ghost hunters and horror lovers alike. The site of a gruesome, unsolved 1912 murder in which 6 children and 2 adults had their skulls completely crushed by the axe of an unknown perpetrator was purchased in 1994, restored to its 1912 condition, and converted into a tourist destination. It costs $428 a night to stay at the old haunted home, where visitors always report strange paranormal experiences, such as visions of a man with an axe roaming the halls, or the faint screams of children. Now, I don't know about y'all, but one thing about me, I love horror, I love ghost stories, I love horror movies, I love all that, right? However, children ghosts? Yeah, you can keep that. I do not mess with the kid ghosts. Can't do it. Don't like it. I don't know why. It's like children are so, most children are so sweet, so nice when they're living, but for some reason, instantly, soon as they are ghosts, they're scary as hell. It's like, my dude, I ain't trying to be, I am not, if I had to deal with a ghost, I'd rather deal with an adult ghost. I know that seems weird because you would think an adult ghost is more powerful, but I don't know. It just seemed like all the scary movies, all the scary stories I've heard where there's kid ghosts involved, it'd be the worst. I mean, it's terrifying. I can't put it no other way. And then the worst part is I have 2 small children of my own, so it's like if I'm seeing a little dude walking around here, nigga, nah, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? So hearing children scream in the middle of the night that'll probably be it for me. It'd be like, go ahead and pack this up and I'm out of here. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no way. I don't even have to hear the children scream. I can hear a child laughter, and I'm like, yup, it's time. I know my kids ain't here, and I know ain't nobody bring no kids here. I'm gone. I don't know what it is. It's like I can hear a whole grown man talking, And I'd be like, damn. But I hear a kid, I'm like, gone. Like, I ain't playing no games with it. But let's get back to the story. So like I was saying, in 1994, it was restored to its 1912 conditions and converted into a tourist destination for people to be able to stay a night for $428. And they get to have their own paranormal experiences. Like such that was reported was visions of a man with an axe roaming the hall. Which I ain't gonna lie, that would freak me the fuck out too, because it's like, no. Like, hey, why are you, first of all, solid body or transparent body, you got an axe walking down the hall. You ain't up to no good. So I will be out of there. So they either see a guy with an axe or they hear children screaming. And I already explained to y'all I don't do the children ghosts, right? But in November of 2014, the haunting took a darker turn. Robert Stephen Lorison Jr., 37, and I might say this wrong, so I'm sorry. Rhinelander, Wisconsin, was on a regular recreational paranormal visit with friends when true horror struck. Now, this was reported by Vice. I don't know if it was an interview or they just reported what went down, but it says his companions found him stabbed in the chest, apparently self-inflicted wound. Called 911, and Larson was brought to a nearby hospital before being helicoptered to, I want to say, Creighton University Medical Center in Omaha. If I said that wrong, I'm sorry. Y'all can check me in the comments. I apologize. So the Montgomery County Sheriff Office said Lorison suffered the self-inflicted injury at about 12:45 a.m. Now this is where it really gets creepy. Said it happened at 12:45 a.m. Says this is around the same time that the 1912 axe murders in the house began. So around the same time that the murders happened in 1912, which is 12:45 a.m. in 2014, this guy suffered a self-inflicted injury at the same time. Now, it could be a coincidence. You know, I don't know if it was reported that the murders happened at that time or started at that time, so it could have been a coincidence. I don't want to be that guy that debunked everything or whatnot. We can actually talk about it in the comments. You know, y'all can let me know what y'all think. If y'all think that it was a coincidence that it happened or something more. But to continue, it says Larson recovered from his injuries but has never spoken publicly about what occurred that day. For Martha Lynn, the owner of the home, the incident was very upsetting. It's publicity, but it's not exactly the kind of publicity you desire to have. I don't want people thinking that when they come to the Villisca Axe Murder House, something's going to happen that's going to make them do something like that. The house remains open for tourist visits and overnight stays today. To this very day, that place is still open and available to stay at. Now, this story is very interesting because it does remind me of, I believe it was the Shining movie where but they were in a hotel, I believe, right? Where they do end up, I guess, like being possessed, and he started going on a hacking spree. You know what I'm saying? He had the axe. He came through the door. Here's Johnny. You know what I'm saying? That's an old school movie, very old school movie. It reminds me of that. The things that get me is, of course, the children. Like I said, I have 2 small children of my own. So them being murdered, that's very tragic. Anybody being murdered is a tragedy, of course. But, you know, them being murdered is a tragedy. And then hearing children screaming at night when you're staying there, yeah, I don't think I could do that. I ain't really scared of much. Like, really, I'm not. But again, children ghosts. That ain't my cup of tea. That ain't my stilo. That ain't whatever you want to call it. It ain't me, fam. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not. Don't. I'm not the type to go doing no paranormal investigations. But if I was invited to do it and I said screw it, let's do it. Don't make sure it ain't no kid ghosts around. I don't do the kid ghosts. I don't. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know what's more creepier. A kid ghost or a woman ghost. Like, I don't know why for me it's like a man ghost. Alright, whatever. I guess because we're so used to hearing. It's so used of knowing that, you know, you're so used to being like, alright, this guy died here and he haunts the place. But for some reason, it just seemed like when it's a child and when it's a woman, is usually very brutal and is usually very it's a very horrific death. And because of that, I know that the haunting is just real bad. They're gonna hunt and hunt because they're kind of like, usually I don't know too much about the paranormal. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I'm a professional, but I do know that usually when ghosts hunt and it's like in one spot is usually like a residual haunting. So it's like sometimes they don't even actually know you're there. They're just repeating the same day over and over, which is the day that they died. But for some reason, it's terrifying. It's very terrifying. Like, imagine you're in this place, right? And you're chilling there. You like, oh man, I could take this. Who cares? You know, I'm good. The paranormal, it ain't gonna scare me. I'm a G. Blah 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 blah. Right? And you chilling, and you see the dude walking down the hallway with an axe. What you gonna do? Me, I'm leaving. I ain't even gonna hold you. Because in my mind, I'm not even gonna think that it's a ghost because I see you with an axe. I'm thinking, oh, this dude is somebody who was here that I didn't even know was here, and he's probably gonna do some damage. So let me get up out of here. I warn as many people as I can, but I'm getting the hell up out of here. You feel me? But then you have the kids. I don't know. It's like with a kid ghost is, you gotta think they're kids, so you know how playful a kid is. So if they're not stuck in a residual haunting and they actually know that you're there, they're gonna want to play. They're gonna want to get your attention. They're gonna want to get you to acknowledge them, acknowledge that they're here. They're gonna make some noise. They're gonna throw something. You might see a ball bounce down the hallway. You might see some little kid riding on a tricycle. It just might be it's just a lot. It's just a lot. Let's just put it that way. That's the scary part. I think that is the most scary part about kid ghosts, because they're usually playful. They're very playful, but it's trickery. And it's like, nah, fam, I ain't got time to play with you right now. Like this is scary. This isn't playtime. This is scary time. Or if it's late, this ain't playtime. It's nighttime. Dude, go to sleep. Like, you go to sleep here. I'm going to sleep at my house. But then I'm kind of worried about that, because then it's like, if I stayed there at that hotel and all of that happened, is that gonna follow me? Or at that place and that happened, is that gonna follow me? You know what I'm saying? That's one of the things that always terrifies me when it comes to paranormal experiences. And kid ghosts, they seem like the type that will follow you. They will hang on to something and go home with you, especially if they know, for some reason, it's like ghosts know your personal life somehow. So if they somehow know that you got kids, and they can probably tell from your demeanor, you know what I'm saying? If they know you got kids, they gonna roll back to the crib with you so they can make friends with your kids. Next thing you know, your kids drawing scary pictures and telling you it's their imaginary friend. Nah, fam, I don't even do that. Like, my kids know better. You better draw some Dragon Ball Z characters. You better draw SpongeBob. You better draw cartoons. Don't come to me drawing people and telling me that's your friend. We ain't got no friends. If I can't see them, you ain't got no friends. Nope, denied. But it's very scary. And then, like I was saying with women ghosts, that's very scary because granted, I'm going based off of a lot of horror films and stuff and stories, but most of the time you see them in a mirror, or they'll be usually like in a tub or something, like in a bathtub or something, and that's freaky. Like what was that movie? Was it 13 Ghosts? I think it was 13 Ghosts, where they went into that house and they couldn't see the ghost unless they had the glasses on, and the girl went into the bathroom and ran the bath water, and she was running her hands through the bath water the whole time. There's a dead ghost lady in the tub, and the water is actually blood. Yeah, like, that's creepy, my dude. Like, keep that. I can deal with the axe guy. I see him, probably think it's a real guy, and then tell everybody, and then we gonna be very vigilant about this. The kid screaming or seeing, because I'm pretty sure, because it said it was 6 kids, I believe. Let me make sure, I don't want to give y'all false information. It said that it was 6 children and 2 adults. So 9 times out of 10, these were a mother and a father and their children. So you know that the parents are also there too. It's crazy because I couldn't imagine seeing imagine you go to this place, you're there, you chilling. They only saying, the small reports that they saying is, they saying stuff like you might see the guy with the axe walking around, and you might hear the girl scream, or like hear the children screaming. Imagine if you seen all 8 ghosts just right there chilling, looking at you. What would you do? What could you do? Where would you go? It's 8 of them. And if you turn around and try to run, they're going to be right in front of you. And it's like, what could you do? Now, here's the thing that I will state. This is, again, I would like to mention, this is a unsolved mystery. And I'm even doing more research on it. And and this is from, I want to say wherehour.com, I believe. This was in June. This was June 9th of 2023. It's been 111 years since that happened, and the murders are still unsolved. There's no evidence of who did it. They don't know who did it at all. It's 2023 and they still don't know who did it, right? Now, here's the thing that got me in the story. they mentioned that they experienced, like, a couple people that's been there reported that they experienced seeing the guy with an axe walking around the hall. So now my thing is, maybe it's unsolved because maybe he killed himself. But if it was only 8 bodies, and I'm doing black man detective right now, you know what I'm saying? This ain't a real detective work. This is just regular nigga detective, you know what I'm saying? If I was Batman and we was finding out the clues here, 6 children, 2 adults, that's 8 people, right? It was only reported that it was 8 murders. 6 children, 2 adults. I'm assuming that the 2 adults had to have been the husband and the wife, or the mother and the father, and then it was their 6 kids. If you are seeing a ghost roaming the hall with the axe, then he would have had to have killed himself after killing everybody, which would make that 9 bodies. So the thing that I'm confused about, 2 things that I'm confused about is, if that's the case, where is his body? Why is it that they found 8 bodies and not 9? Because how would he be haunting the place if he didn't die there? And if it's unsolved and they don't know who did it, my second thing that confuses me is, was it the father that did it? Because you only have 8 bodies found. But the question is, if it was the father, how did he smash his own skull with an axe? Because when you're saying it was crushed, because the story mentioned that their skulls were crushed, that means that's repeatedly hitting it over and over and over. Because it's going to take some time to crush the skull, you know what I'm saying? So, if we're counting this ghost that's walking around with the axe, and we're saying that it is the father, I'm not saying it is. I don't want nobody to sit here taking what I'm saying as truth and that I solved this mystery. No, that's not what I'm saying. This is all just an assumption. This is all just a guess. This is all just me just spitballing. You feel me? But you're saying 8 bodies were found. 8 bodies were found, right? 6 were children, 2 were adults. But yet, the guy, ghost, is there at this place, at this house. If I'm putting 2 and 2 together, the dude had to have been the person that killed his own family and then killed himself. The only question that remains is how? Because his skull was crushed. So how? With the axe, and it's known that it was the axe. They know that was the weapon. That's the crazy part too, because the killer, if it wasn't him, the killer left the axe there and was never found. There was no. Now, granted, this was 1912, so I know technology wasn't as good then to be able to pick up DNA and all that stuff as it is now. But it's just a lot of moving parts here, and it's a lot. It's a lot. It is a lot, and I get why this right here is one for me. I had to make this the first story because this right here, it leaves me with a lot of questions. It leaves me trying to figure it out, although I have no ambitions of going there to find out myself. But it's very interesting. So I want y'all to tell me what y'all think. Let me know in the comments what you think might have happened. What are your own opinions of the situation? Like how it went down? Like, do you think it might have been I would have to say, because they didn't really give off whether or not it was the mother and the father and their kids or not, but just you can kind of guess that because it was their house, right? Do you think it was the father, or do you think just somebody did this, broke in, did this, and dipped? But why would the person that did this be haunting the place if he got away with it? You know, like, that's the question. So y'all hit me up in the comments. Let me know what y'all think about this. Tell me y'all detective work. Y'all can give me y'all little detective. Well, not your little, but y'all can give me y'all detective work and whatnot. And if it's somebody who may know more, you know, maybe they're from Iowa, or maybe they're people who have visited the house and experienced things of their own, please, by all means, come into the comments. Let me know what your experience was about. I would love to read about it. And I might even do another episode, like bonus episode, that talks about y'all experience, if that's okay with y'all. We can talk more about it and everything. I'm very open to having these conversations with y'all. So hit me up in the comments and let me know what y'all think.